Well, what a round we're about to go into. Magic round, and it kicks off tonight with the Women's State of Origin. Inside Bulldog podcast is where you're at. Welcome to the Inside Ball. Kev, how are you, mate?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. Really good. Recovered from the Alfie interview. That's
good
been
was
going
it?
fantastic.
Yeah, unbelievable. Alfie yesterday, I wasn't able to be a part of it. Look, to give everybody a little snapshot, at the end of this month, on the 29th, yourself, me and Alf, we're flying to Longreach. Now,
we're going to raise some money for
the flooded victims in Western Queensland. We'll be there. And they asked me this morning that literally I had a phone call this morning from the bloke who they've organised a jet for us to drive back.
Fly. I hope not driving the jet.
Fly back. 57 minutes it takes from Longreach back to Brisbane with this jet, right? They said, what time would you like it to leave on Friday? This is not a word of a lie. And I said, 7. They go, well, that might be a bit early for Alf and Kev because of the night that's going on. I said, mate, what do you think? They're professionals. He goes, no. They're coming to Longreach. So we've pushed it back to 8 o'clock.
Righto.
We're leaving there. That gives you an hour's sleep in because...
we're going to have a good time out there.
I can't wait to get to Longreach. Hey, listen, big round this weekend.
Huge round, mate.
We'll get to the Origin. We'll get to our tips. Let's just talk about the big news at the moment. There's a lot going on. I just want to touch on a couple of things. I had dinner with Andrew Abdo last night in the commission.
What's going on with the sin bins?
Well, they're calling it a crackdown. It's not a crackdown. They're winding it back. There won't be the sin binnings this week like there has been.
Right.
I think,
I
think they've finally got it a bit sorted out. They've realised they've gone too far. They've realised that potentially this, and the thing that annoyed you and I think the most about it was going back into sets when the bunker adjudicates something from the previous set, put on report, go for 10. When in real time, it should just wait to the tribunal, and that's what the match review committee are there for.
Yep,
that's the thing. That's the thing they're changing.
Yeah, well, that's good, mate, and they need to change it because we don't want to see what happened last weekend. 18 sin bins, Dobbo.
Yeah,
they'll start walking out of Suncorp.
They'll boo the refs. I mean, everybody just starts booing the referees. It's not the ref.
Common sense, mate. Let the referees adjudicate. Yeah. They're pretty good, our referees.
And you've said it pretty clearly. You said it earlier this week. You said it again. Let the game play. Let the match review committee let the match review committee deal with it later. Unless they get knocked out and it's a HIA and they can review it, I don't have a problem with that. But like what's wrong with a penalty? Just give him a penalty.
No problem, mate. Play on. Let's go.
Adam Reynolds, what do we think?
Well, I think he'll stay at the Broncos. They can't afford to let him go, mate. Really.
Buzz has rated him the top in the top three. There was 50 players. Buzz, Phil Rockfield in the paper yesterday. He's got him third.
Yeah.
After 8 weeks. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I certainly do. Well, he's been the Broncos' best player in the opening 8 weeks. I'm not sure his try assist numbers, they're right up there. His kicking game's sublime. That little chip and chase when he regathered, that was Alan Langer-like.
In the wet last week. Yeah, it did. In the wet last week, though, Kev.
Oh, he kicked the Bulldogs to death, mate.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And his body's in great shape.
Okay.
Well, is it?
Well, he's got a sore shoulder. He's got a sore hamstring. But
apart from that, he's fine.
Yeah. But he can hit a golf ball. All I'm going to say is he can still hit a golf ball.
What's he doing playing? Oh, keep that quiet.
He can still play golf, so it can't be too bad. Can I ask you about how do you fit him in? So, you know the cap. I believe he'll stay. I think they're going to find a way.
Well, there's ramifications. If he does stay, there'll be others that have to leave. Cobbo's probably going to have to leave.
Cobbo's going, yeah. I think, and I don't know it too intimately. Yeah, look, Cobbo, the mail I'm getting about Cobbo is that they're trying to do a 1-year deal with Cobbo at Brisbane at the moment. So Brisbane are trying to do a 1-year deal with him. So he's off contract at the end of this year. They're trying to somehow manage to keep him there, knowing full well and dangling, well, Perth are coming in, the following year. He's not going to leave Perth, but they don't want to lose him. Like, egg on your face if you're the Broncos, if you lose Selwyn Cobbo and he goes to a rival Southeast Queensland team. That's not a good look.
He'll end up at Redcliffe or the Gold Coast.
Yeah, that's
Dolphins. He'll end up at the Dolphins or the Titans.
I think the same. I genuinely think the same.
But you can't keep them all, as they say. And if you want to hang on to Adam Reynolds, well, you're going to have to sacrifice somewhere else. That's just bad luck for the Broncos. That's the way the salary cap works.
What do you think about Jamal Fogarty going to Manly? And then coming out in the paper and saying he got lowballed by Canberra. Come on.
Well, maybe.
Come on.
Yeah.
Mate, he got given a chance. He was at the Titans going nowhere. Ricky
goes
and gets him.
Ricky
brings him.
Mate, from players. Right? And to be fair, things have changed money-wise for players' incomes and how much they're earning, right? The salary cap has been increased most years for the last 10 years. So we're not talking $20,000 or $30,000 now with these players. We're talking hundreds of thousands
the difference
of dollars that they sacrifice. And I got no problem with it. It's not about loyalty. It's about loyalty to their families and their future, mate. So I got no problem with it.
It was a $120,000 difference for 1 year.
Ricky needs to see it that way. Otherwise, Ricky will get cranky.
Ricky's a hater. Ricky, if you're out with Ricky, he's a hater.
I bet Jamal Fogarty's playing for the rest of his time.
Of course he is.
And he'll play his ass off.
Sanders, he will. Sanders is look, they've got Sanders there. They bought him for a reason. He's the long-term halfback there.
That's the flip side of it, Dobbo. You risk losing that young player.
Yeah, that's the thing. They bought him for a reason. They're paying him big money. Jamal's been very good from culturally, unbelievable. Ricky says on and off the field, unbelievable. His family's fitted into Canberra, unbelievable.
That doesn't surprise me.
But they can't get him off. 3 years, so he's 31, 3 years. They lose DCE. We should talk about DCE. Committed now, locked. He said that, like so.
Yep, right. Now next week we're gonna start to up the ante with Origin because it's not far away. Right. So we're gonna pick our teams here. I'm gonna pick my Queensland team. Gradually, you've got no influence. I'm
not picking any.
You're
Queensland
not helping
team.
me pick a Queensland team.
Well, I don't want to.
Because your blue hat, it's under that chair.
It's
somewhere.
not under there. Just go away.
You better go and buy one. Or I'm
not a blue hat. There's no blue hats in my camp.
Well, I'll look after the Queensland side of things. You can look after.
I'm not looking after the New South Wales.
Well, you can tell me what Laurie
team.
Daly's possibly going to come up with.
Well, he's your mate.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should get Loz
on
this show.
We've both got Lorraine on today, actually.
we should get Loz on.
Right, so that's coming up. Queensland Billy Slater's got some headaches right now, and I've coached Queensland.
I'm going to give you just a little nugget right now. Hear this. Ponga's not going that well.
Doesn't matter.
Hey.
They picked
Hear this.
Arthur Beetson from reserve grade.
Cherry Evans at halfback. Dearden at 6. Cam Munster at fullback. Played there before. That means you bring Hammer into the centres with Val, Cobbo, Xavier Coates. I'm just saying it earlier. Don't rule out, and I mean this, Munster at 1 has played there before. And that means you could keep Dearden. You could also keep Cherry Evans. And guess what? You bring Ben Hunt as 14.
Well,
it's not as bad as you think. Ponga's not going that good.
No, but at his best,
but he's not going at his best.
He doesn't have to be right now.
Well,
he can play well on Sunday. Magic. When are they playing? Saturday, aren't they? The Knights.
They're playing. Knights play South Sydney Saturday.
So, but Origin still. You don't want them playing their best right now. You want them playing best at Origin.
Admit you like my little.
That's not bad. It's a good option for Billy to have, but I don't think he'll go down that path. If Ponga's fit, Ponga will be the fullback. Reece Walsh is injured. We'll get to that next week, Dobbo.
Okay, let's get back. We've got to start of Origin tonight.
What about Suncorp?
Well,
the turf.
Okay, we should talk about that before.
I'm worried about the turf. And I rang Alan Graham this morning. He assures me they're working around the clock. What's the groundsman?
Matty Oliver,
who's the chief groundsman there.
Mal Caddies was the previous guy. He got promoted. He's gone somewhere else.
Right, but they put some synthetic grass in there as well.
They sow it.
So it's not all natural grass, which I reckon that's great because that will help it stick together better, quickly.
Kev.
Now, I know you know a lot about grass.
You're a grass connoisseur.
Grass man from way back. You and your...
I'm on the gummies. I don't like grass. I'm a gummies man. Can I just say this now? It's only for the neck ailment because I broke my neck. Just stop the pain. There's nothing else, and it's medicinal. Can I just please talk to you about your front lawn, pride and joy? So you lay your turf, you water it every day, you bed it down, and then 6 weeks later, you're allowed to play backyard cricket on it.
Right.
That's just the general rule. So, Walter, they laid it on Tuesday.
Yeah, I know.
They're going to have 9 games of rugby league on it in 3 days.
Yep.
Come on, mate. Come on.
Yeah. Are they allowed to wear boots on the grass?
Moulded. No. Like, I'm being serious. Like, come on.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're under pressure, mate, but they'll get it done. They always do.
There will be a blow-up of mass proportion
There's rain
if this goes south on Sunday. If this goes south, there is going to be a blow-up deluxe.
It's not going to. Alan Graham's in full control, mate. Don't worry about the turf. It'll be great.
Okay. I believe it when I see it. Right. Okay. Let's get into it. Tonight, we've got a start of Origin.
Yes, excited. That's why I got the maroon on.
New South Wales versus Queensland. The best players in the world play for Queensland, but New South Wales with the bookmakers are favourites. Now, they're expecting 30,000 there I spoke to the NRL last night. 30,000 tickets sold already. Could be 35 by the time.
That's huge for the
women's game.
That's brilliant.
Broadcasted on 9. It'll be all the bells and whistles.
My daughter's going. Ava's going.
She's going
with a few mates.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Last year as well. We got beaten in this game last year.
I know. I'm going to go. I'm looking forward to it. But what I would say about this game is that we've somehow got to get these girls playing before Origin. It can't be their first game.
Well, I don't mind their preparation. Both teams, that's Queensland and New South Wales, have had a 6-week training block together.
Yeah.
In Queensland and New South Wales. So they've worked on their combinations. They've done some opposed sessions and they've picked their team from there. All right. So if you trained really well, so there's 4 debut players for both teams. All right. So both teams have made changes from last year. How do you get selected in that squad? Well, a lot of it is from form last year, and also potentially can you make the rise up?
Tamika Upton, Taryn Aiken, Ali Brigginshaw.
Yep.
I mean, you go on. They're the best players in the world. I mean, that Taryn Aiken, she's a freak. Absolute freak.
Aiken and Brigginshaw are up against the new halves pairing from New South Wales.
Southwell and Shadamato, isn't it?
No.
Southwell and Penatani are and Penatani's a centre. It's like she's never played in the 5'8", bro.
I worked with her on Fox a couple of weeks ago. She was a genius.
Yeah.
And I think she's in for a big game. She's a big game player.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to tip New South Wales. You're going to tip Queensland.
Never. Queensland in a tight game.
Yeah.
But I think Tamika Upton at the back, I think she'll be the difference.
Any team that's got Tamika Upton in it,
right, and
is a chance of winning.
Let's not go past our skipper either, Ali Brigginshaw.
Yeah.
She
spoke to her yesterday. Very excited.
Together, Ipswich girl. She's coming on the show in a couple of weeks.
Do you know what I like about them? They're all wearing their postcodes on their sleeve, which the men have done before. Forex have got that initiative.
Yeah, that was
She's
Forex's
got 4305, mate. Big 4305.
I've lived in the old 4305.
Nation's capital. The nation's capital. All right, Queensland to win tonight. That'll be a big one. We will have a look at that at the X. Let's get to Magic Round.
Yep.
Cronulla take on Parramatta. Game 1 of Magic Round.
Yep. Well,
I'm going to tip Parramatta. I'm going to just tell you now, I don't trust the Sharkies.
Well, the Sharks are favourites, and all the games over the weekend, including the Origin tonight, both teams can win. So the bookies have got both teams over the weekend very tight.
Yeah.
The biggest one's probably the Broncos-Panthers game, but who's going to? I was foolish enough to tip against the Panthers a couple of weeks ago and they were brilliant. So tonight, the Sharks, they've got to answer some questions tonight, the Sharks. That their halves combination hasn't delivered consistently for them. They've got a couple of injuries tonight as well. And the Eels, well, on the back of what Mitchell Moses did last week, wow. Yeah. I think I might tip the Eels as well, Dobbo. What are you going?
I'm tipping the Eels. I think Mitchell Moses, I think they looked a lot more cleaner. I think that they, with Brown works much better with Moses inside.
Clearly.
And their forwards look like they've got a little bit more about
punch in them.
Yeah, I just think they're outsiders.
Something to get a bit excited about.
I think Parramatta are desperate. Rilesy's doing a good job. I'm going to tip the Eels.
Right, I might go with you there.
Second game, it's a big one. I'm calling that game. Are you calling this game for Fox? What Fox games you got?
I'm working every day.
Same here, mate. That's full on.
We love Magic Round. Too, mate.
Yeah, Magic Round. We're
better than digging holes out there, folks. If you get a job in the media.
I'm calling this game. I've got a good call team. I mean, when you're with me, but I got T.O. and Webke and Michael Chamis on the sideline. We're calling the Dolphins taking on the Roosters. Marshall King comes back in. Yep. Felice Kafusi's back in. They haven't got Max Plath.
No, Maxie's out.
He's still out.
Still with that foot injury.
Yeah, still with a foot injury.
Right. The Roosters, they can't find any consistency. Win, loss, the last month. Now, if you take your mind back to the Broncos, they played here a couple of weeks ago. Spencer Lini was coming off the back fence. Now, the crowd are going to be into him tomorrow night. If I know a Queensland crowd,
I've forgotten about the crowd and Spencer. They don't forget.
And little Johnny Thurston's in town too. He'll be in town.
So, I've forgotten about this narrative. This is something big. We could have, the second instalment of Spencer and JT.
Well, JT won't back down, mate, and neither will Spencer.
It's a 9 game as well. It is a 9. It's a second game. It's a 9 game. Yeah. 8:05 kickoff. Mate, my God, I forgot about this.
Yeah, well, make sure you stay awake, Dobbo.
I'm calling it. I'll be there. I'll have the binoculars on Spencer the whole time.
Yeah, because I like that. There's a lot in this game, mate, and the Roosters, they need to win. The Roosters need to win. They're sitting 13th.
Yeah, guess what? They're going to beat the Dolphins tomorrow night.
You think so?
Morals.
Well, the Dolphins are sitting 12th on the table, so they're similar form.
The Dolphins after last week. I mean,
no, but they beat the Storm. They put 40 points on the Storm.
That's great.
Their form at Suncorp Stadium is
okay. Off. Make the call. Who wins?
I'm going to go the Dolphins.
I'm going to go the Roosters. I'm sorry. I think the Roosters. Okay, let's talk to Super Saturday, Magic Round. Yeah, first game, Knights and Rabbi and Bunny, straight up. Beautiful game. Look, Uncle Wayne.
Has he got his tooth?
He's got his tooth back.
It's done.
The chocolate soldiers, the little chocolate bullets, the licorice bullets, that's what rolled it. I think, regardless, I think South Sydney. I know they've got a much better back row. I know they've got a halves combination. They just can't score points.
No, see, we can go either way. You're going for South. I think the Knights will. I think the Knights are going to find form soon. Ponga cannot keep not being involved in the game and not having an influence over games. They got a couple of back rowers back. Elliott's back. Saifidi's back as well, up in the middle for them.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to score points though. They've only averaged a bit over 10 points per game, which defies everything with Kalen Ponga, Bradman Best, Gagai. They got some good players there, mate. So if middles can hold their own, and I just think Ponga, he just can't. He's such a good player. You just can't keep a good man down for too long. I think
if they lose,
he's going to explode over Magic Weekend. Have the game of his life. He's going to just go off, mate.
Well, okay.
And it'll get him back in the Queensland team.
Well, he's probably there. I mean, I'm just throwing out a red herring.
I know, but I'm going to tip a Knights win here. It's up against it, but I like the underdog coming up. And Wayne's got no Mitchell there, no Latrell was
suspended.
But he hasn't been going that great, to be fair.
I just think that he'll have him up for this game. I just have this feeling.
Well, he's had him up all year, really. They haven't really had a bad performance.
Yeah, they were better against Melbourne. I liked a lot what they did against
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Fought hard, mate. Yeah. Actually, mate, because I like both coaches. Maybe I'll tip South. Yeah.
Really?
Wayne Poo. He's got his tooth fixed.
Yeah, he's got his tooth fixed. Okay, so we've agreed there. I've managed to. Right. I reckon match of the Saturday, and it could be match of the round. Waz taking on the Cowboys. Cowboys 4 in a row. Waz are flying as well.
Yeah.
This is 3rd versus 6th. This is a big game of football.
Yeah, it's. I'm not sure. I like the Cowboys purely on they've won 4 in a row. The Cows up for 5, and the Warriors' form away hasn't been that great. They had the one win. They beat. They had a win away. They beat the Tigers away, right at Campbelltown. And the rest of their wins have been at home or in Christchurch against the Broncos. They went to Vegas and failed.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if they can get the job done at Suncorp, although there will be a lot of Warriors fans at Suncorp.
I tend to agree with you.
It's a tough game to tip.
It's a really tough game to tip. I think only because it's a Queensland side and this is a Queensland podcast.
Yeah, we've got to go.
Let's go for the Cowboys.
Yep.
Last game of the Saturday, and this one's got a bit of spice in it as well. Tigers versus the Dragons.
Lockie Galvin, he's playing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing.
He's playing this week.
Ilias dropped. Would you have dropped him?
I think he had to do something.
Yeah.
I think the coach had to do something. They haven't been that great. They've been in games and not been able to finish them off at different times. So, I don't disagree with the coach and what he's done there. It's a big call, but we're going to find out whether or not it's the right call. But, the Dragons have got good strike, in their side. Gutherson's been amazing for them. He's been really good. Can the Dragons beat the Tigers? The Tigers are going to win this one, Dobbo. Somehow
I think they will.
Get a bit out of last week. Galvin's back.
They will. Yeah.
No noise around them this week.
I like it.
I think it's their first travelling trip as well out of Sydney. So they'll get together for a bit of magic, There you go. I'm going to tip the Tigers, mate.
Tigers to win as well. Okay, let's talk Super Sunday. It's a great game. I don't want to get bogged down on this, but the Bulldogs will put a big score on the Titans. First game.
Well, it's going to be tough. They need to show more than what they showed the last few weeks. The Titans.
Last 4 weeks.
Yeah, last month. It's been not so good. He's left Big Dave Fafita out.
Good.
Well, I'm not going to say that.
Lazy.
That's Dez's call. But I'll tell you what Dave needs to do is go up to Ipswich, that's who he's playing for, and be the best player the Jets have seen since Alan Langer. That's what he needs to do. So
I love
the challenge is on you, Dave.
I love the fact that he's at North Ipswich Reserve this weekend.
He's playing up there.
Playing for the Jets.
Won't be a lot of magic at the...
Mate, best meat pie out of that canteen I've had in a long time.
Is that a Joe's pie they have up there?
I don't know, but I got it out there. They got
you know Joe's pies, don't you? Down at Bundamba.
Yeah, Bundamba. Yeah, no, they've got good pies there, and they've got a very good chippery at North Ipswich Reserve at the moment. Very good chippery. Yeah, not as good as the netball courts up there, but the Ipswich Netball Association they've got the chippery back there. Very good chips at the netball, but the Jetters close second. Right. Anyway, go on. I digress.
Yeah. So the Titans. We don't think they can beat the Bulldogs?
I think the Bulldogs win. The fact that they've got no Satili Tupanua, no Burton.
Yeah, well...
I think still that...
they need to show us something, the Bulldogs, because last week they fell off the cliff, mate.
That halves combination of Sexton and Bailey Haywood. Haywood's a gun. Yeah. I understand that. So I like what they're going to bring. Yeah. I do like what they're going to bring. So I'm with you. I'm tipping the Dogs.
They were poor last week, and they'll be disappointed with that. So they'll come up with a different mentality, this week. So
let's talk about the big one. Broncos, Penrith. Oh, there's always a little bit of rivalry there.
There's plenty there, mate.
Okay.
Surely the Broncos can back up what they did a week ago.
I think so.
Over a week ago.
I'm interested to see how Selwyn reacts this time round. Nathan Cleary would have watched the Bulldogs kick it down Selwyn's throat. Selwyn run onto the ball. Nathan Cleary's the best kicking player in the game.
Yeah.
You watch him make... He's got
those floaters.
And run and have to chase.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. He'll need to because Selwyn was very good last week at fullback. I still believe, it's what I believe, that when Reece Walsh is fit and available, he'll just drop back into
straight back in.
Jumper and Selwyn will go back to the wing. But he was impressive last week, Cobbo. I tipped him to get a try last week and he didn't. Maybe he'll get it this week.
They did tip shortly.
Yeah.
They haven't been great. Who else do you like? What do you think?
Well,
I'm not going to say 13 plus. Like I know I big noted myself last week.
No, you got away with that. That was you got away with that.
8 points.
But Xavier Willison's been impressive, hasn't he? On the
he
edge?
held his spot as well. Over Piakura. So Ricky comes back into the side. Willison holds his spot.
Reynolds is the man there, mate.
Yeah.
If Reynolds gets his game on, and Billy Walters too was instrumental last week.
I asked Madge about that yesterday. I had to do a crab lunch yesterday, and one of my questions was, how proud are you of Billy Walters fighting his way back into the side? And he really talked about how hard he's worked and everything like that. And
every player works hard.
Yeah, but Bill's worked his ass off.
No. Anyway, whatever.
Hey, listen, can I ask you about this? Ezra's back next week.
He's straight in the six jumper, mate. Ezra.
It's women in league round. You do it?
That's for next week, right?
Yeah, it's a question. Ezra is back next week. He's been training in the halves.
Let's talk about that. Let's say that for next week, right?
Well,
I've got my thoughts on that.
Yeah, all right. So,
and they're not going to change.
Okay, so we've got Brisbane winning that.
Brisbane's going to win that. The only reason why I'm really favouring strongly with Brisbane is no Mitch Kenny for the Panthers. Yeah. He's the forgotten glue in that side. When he plays, they're a much better side. Now they've got the superstars, Cleary, Edwards, Martin. But he's the glue in that pack, and he's not playing. So that's why I'm tipping the Broncos.
Okay.
Storm Raiders. Wow.
They're having dinner together on Saturday night, Ricky and Billy A.
Oh,
yeah.
Where at?
Doesn't matter.
Not allowed to say.
Yeah, they're having dinner together, best mates, and they're coaching against each other. And both two, like at breakfast this morning, a bloke said to me, they're the surprise packet of the NRL, the Raiders. I don't think they are. I think they're a really good side.
We're both big fans of the Raiders, obviously, and Ricky, their coach. I reckon they can squeeze it. Well, it depends on Nelson. We heard this. Is he playing? He's in the 22.
He's in the 22. So
I reckon he'll be playing because he played Queensland Cup last week.
Yeah, they're not going to name
which
him
I
in
thought
the 22.
Was strange, Craig Bellamy.
Yeah.
Putting him. But I guess Craig's got his ways. He's always done that with Big Nelson. They got a really strong relationship. But I'll be surprised if he's not playing for the Storm on Sunday.
He comes off the bench and destroys somebody in the first tackle. Like he's an absolute.
Oh, he's a beast, mate.
Yeah,
he is a beast.
So,
can I tell you a little story about Nelson?
Go.
So, in 2022, we'll go back in time. 2022, Nelson terrorised Ezra Mam on the edge. He just ran over him, and it's happened to all players. So the next year we went down, so for 2023, went down to get the Channel 9 photos and Fox photos and the like, and we crossed over with the Storm players. And Nelson was part of the Storm, and I introduced Nelson to Ezra, and Poor Les was going, Kevie, don't do that to me. I said, mate, this is the bloke that ran over you. And Les got all embarrassed. Anyway, it was quite funny for me. But
Nelson's a lovely bloke away from it, isn't he?
He's terrific, mate. Yeah. He's, gentle giant, but when he goes on the field, wow, he is.
MAD.
Well, he didn't play in the grand final last year and they got beaten this time. Yeah. He's as important as anyone to that club. So he's back. And I think he's going to terrorise. Who'll he get stuck into it? Go after Fogarty or...
I think
any of those middle forwards.
KO Weeks, if you're running the ball back, just keep an eye out because I'll be... But imagine him and Hudson Young going at each other.
He'll target the forwards, mate. You don't go after the backs. He goes after the big fellas.
What about Papa, Tarpanay?
Yeah.
You've got... Mate, it is a battle royale with those blokes.
Well, I'm calling that game for Fox.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that one. To finish
the
round.
Who are you going to back?
Look, you've got to go the Storm. Their form at Suncorp is nearly like their form at home, but they haven't quite been the Melbourne Storm that we know. This year they've been a bit up and down. Their defence hasn't been as strong. No Harry Grant for the Storm, but if Nelson plays, I think the Storm will beat the Raiders. But I give the Raiders every chance. Sorry, Rick, but
I'm no Scorpion, mate. I'm back in Canberra. I'm no Scorpion, mate. I'm rock solid, mate.
I'll go with you, Stick. I'll go with you,
I remember what you did for me, mate. I'll never forget it. I'll back you no matter what. All right, that's Magic Round. Questions for Kev. Have we got some questions? Okay. We did do that poll about our producer, and I wanted to be honest with you. We did do that poll. It came up 70%.
What?
Thinks he should be going to Magic Round. He tried to toss out earlier.
I voted on that.
Yeah, so did I.
What did you vote?
I voted Magic Round.
No.
And then I peppered him with some other insults, but that's another day.
Right.
Kev, what games are you commentating on this weekend?
Oh, well, I'm there for the whole weekend. So if I'm not commentating on games, I'm paneling. I think I'm commentating 3 games and paneling the rest. So
right. Yeah.
I can't wait for it. I love Magic Weekend. It's just got something. It's like an Origin sort of grand final combined, you know, and the crowd. See all the different jerseys and
it's huge.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, Damon.Nixon, how does Magic Round compare to Vegas? It's a really good call. Yeah, good question.
I'd much rather Magic Round than Vegas.
You had a bad trip. You had a bad experience in Vegas.
Yeah, but you talk to most people at Vegas and they have a bad experience. Darcy, our producer, he refuses to go back there.
I'm going.
Well, he lost his life over there, mate.
We've all had that happen, but that's just
that's Vegas, mate.
Yeah, get a little.
Why would you want to go there and lose your life and all your money?
Magic Round is way more enjoyable. Magic Round.
There's no magic in Vegas, mate.
Well,
it's hard to win in Vegas. I keep saying, but you can win at Magic Weekend.
Yeah, you
certainly.
Can. How do you think the Broncos will go against the Panthers? You've said that. You've answered that question.
Yeah, Broncos to win there.
Yeah. Well, there are your questions. Right now,
have you driven past Suncorp? They get in early to set up. It's like
mate,
like the Echo being set up in the car park.
I will say this now to everybody who's going to Magic Round, and people will be listening to Magic Round. Great Northern are doing an amazing thing there this weekend. So for every single beer schooner that's drunk at Magic Round, 50 cents from every schooner is going to rural aid. Now that's for the farmers that have been affected out west. So Great Northern are the major sponsors. There's not going to be a 4X within the joint. It's all Great Northern. They've got the rights there. And so every schooner from tonight till Sunday, 50 cents. So if you have 40 schooners on a Saturday, $20 straight into the coffers.
Right. How good's that?
Bloody brilliant. Very big donation.
Well, we won't be making any donations.
I've got Saturday off.
Oh.
So speak for yourself.
Hello.
Saturday is my day.
Right. So you're going to make a donation?
I'll be making I'll make a contribution. I may have also been given a little to the Great Northern deck. I might be out going on the Great Northern deck for a little bit as well on Saturday. Yeah.
You'll be there, mate. You're invited.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. So well done to Great Northern because all that money's going to rural aid, and I'm being genuine about that. It's called the Great Shout. They donated 500 kegs across Queensland. So over the weekend, those 500 kegs that get drunk, any of the money goes there. There's 200,000 going to rural aid.
Straight
and then
up.
50 cents from every schooner drunk from tonight till Sunday night. It's going there as well. So well done to that.
How good's that?
Righto, Kev. You haven't been great with the tips. And you've gone to the algorithms and to the betting gods.
I've gone outside my circle.
Good.
To get some outside help.
It's about time.
Some secret outside help, right? First game is the Warriors and the Cowboys.
Yes.
For the Queensland teams, right? Total points over 47.5. He thinks there's plenty of points in the Cowboys, plenty of points in the Warriors. I don't think that's such a bad bet. Dry track Saturday, plenty of points in both teams. Okay, the second leg, Bulldogs and the Titans.
Yep.
Ooh. The Dogs found out last week, and Burton is not playing, so he feels this could be the upset of the weekend.
He thinks the Titans could win it.
Well, the Titans have been up and down.
Is this in the multi?
No, he's just thinking for those that like a bigger extension,
right.
you know.
Yeah, but what's his tip?
His tip is under 47.5 points for the game.
Okay.
Right?
So over 47 for the Wars Cowboys?
Yep.
Under 47 Titans Dogs?
Yep. And the Broncos Penrith, he expects them to win in a tight and wet game. So he's going the Broncos there.
Right. So that's his 3 games.
Well, there must be another one somewhere.
Well, there is the Dolphins. The Dolphins take on the Roosters in game 1.
He's got the Dolphins beating the Roosters.
So let's go through it. Dolphins beat the Roosters on Friday night. Saturday, middle game, Wars, Cowboys, over 47 points. Sunday, Dogs, Titans, under 47 points. And a tight game, Broncos to win over Penrith in the wet, just to beat them on the line.
Yep. That's your 4-leg multi.
$10 plus on the multi.
I think it might be a little bit more than that.
Really?
But anyway, I think that's
Well, I mean, you've had to go outside the square.
Yeah. Well, we've got good people in good places, Dobbo.
We have.
I got another one for you too.
Go.
Hoppies.
They're back.
Hoppies are back. They're back on deck with us. Chris Johns and his staff. He's got them all back into line. Now, this is only the Hoppies Express, right?
Hoppies Express, not Hoppies others. Hoppy Express.
The stores are Capalaba, Mermaid Waters, Morayfield, Pimpamar, I'll get that right this time, Richlands and Tingalpa. So those 6 stores.
Same
that's
again.
The Express.
Same
Mention
again.
the podcast all weekend, into next week, you get a free wash, a free external wash.
Capalaba.
Mermaid Waters.
Morayfield.
Pimpamar. Richlands and Tingalpa.
We might even put that up.
Pimpamar, everyone. I've got it right.
We might put that up on our Instagram.
Yep.
Because and if you go to another one and you say it, you're paying. But if you go to Hoppies Express, you say you listen to Inside Ball, you love Dobbo more than Kevie, you get a free car wash.
Right. And at the end of all this, we're going to take – Johnsy's got all the details and ability to take names and registrations. We're going to draw one lucky winner. It's going to get 4 tickets to a Broncos game in the near future.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
So you'll be down there now trying to get 4 tickets for your
Morayfield.
family.
I'm going to Morayfield.
Darcy will be down there queuing up in the kids.
I'm going to Darcy's not getting anything, mate. He's going to Noosa with his girlfriend. Instead of
that's
watching
legit.
football.
So let's get that on. Go and get your free car wash at any of those Hoppies Express washers.
Tingalpa, Capalaba, Morayfield, Mermaid Waters, Pimpamar, and Richlands. They're the places. We'll get them all up on an Instagram tile. Make sure that you got it. Go there this weekend. Mention Inside Ball. You get a free car wash. It doesn't get Johnsy, thank you for that, and Heels. We appreciate it. But that's the Hoppies Express. Only the Hoppies Express, not the normal one. No. Has to be the Hoppies Express. Now, also, Kev's Cooking will be back next week. He's got a busy weekend.
Yes.
He did go, I went and got a succulent Chinese meal at China Sea on Tuesday night. Very good. Stanley, the man, is there.
Yeah.
But what we will do, Kev's got some big tips coming up from cooking. We've also got a very special guest next week. Go and listen to Alan Langer. Unbelievable. Great chat. The halves combination, the best in the business, these two. They were unbelievable. InsideBall.podcast, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, we're all there. And share it with a friend. I mean that. Just share it with a friend. One person every week. If you share it, that's what we like. There is a lot of people listening to the show. We're so thankful on how many people are listening to the show, but we want more. We are here. We're love greedy. Yeah, we are. We love what we're doing. We appreciate you. Enjoy Origin tonight. But enjoy Magic Round. Wherever you are, if you're watching it at home out in the West, if you're in Brisbane, get on board, go and enjoy it. Listen to the podcast, watch a bit of footy, have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.